allowed to do this. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Maiyegun la wa mo, la mo do. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Facebook, YouTube, Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kò ní bẹ́ẹ̀.
Kindly share this broadcast. It's going to be interesting to start with. Okay? Don't worry how we start. All right? Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite those who are not really your friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today.
Maiyegun diary politico. Maiyegun diary number one.
Thank you.
Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary number one.
I heard something new, and I can't go to bed without sharing that with you. It is as insulting as stupid as well. But it is worth discussing tonight. VAT war.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It is the governor of Katsina State that has somehow blew up, and he said the southern Nigeria, including Lagos, Rivers State, and Oyo State, that have become economically viable out of 36 states in Nigeria. Now that they said we are not going to share our VAT with anybody anymore, you can't be destroying bottle of beer, alcohol, busting into hotel rooms, breaking into rooms, and your ISBA arresting people simply because they are in Sharia places. You can't be sharing from that, from the proceed of such trade. It is Sharia. But guess what? They said, no. If Lagos is making money, it is because they used the money from the north to develop Lagos. If Rivers State is making money on VAT, it is because they used the money from northern Nigeria to develop Rivers State. If Oyo State is making more money on VAT tax, then that is possible because they use the money from the north to develop Oyo State. Funny. Oh, you haven't met these guys. It is not funny. They are dead serious. And when I say they are dead serious, let me give you an example. How they see things. And when they say them, they mean them. But you will laugh because they sound funny to you. But they are dead serious. But we're going to probe further. A conviction, just to have a little bit of a conviction, watch this.
Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belongs to Jigawa. As long, yes, because we are called Nigeria today. So that's what I'm telling you. The oil belongs to us all. And we, as Nigerians, shall do everything possible to make sure we take that oil so that Jigawa people will have the oil as well. Will have the money of the oil. Anybody who thinks the oil of Bayelsa belongs to only Bayelsa is just deceiving himself. As long as we are in Nigeria, we will make sure that we have uninterrupted supply of oil so that there will be uninterrupted supply of money to Jigawa State. As long as we are called Nigeria. So of course we are not the same people. We have to understand that, look, I am a Fulani man, and Ijo is different, Yoruba is different, but then God has made us to stay together. So why can't we attempt to stay together? And I honestly do not mind, even if we're going to part ways. Let's sit on the table, around the table, and agree that, look, that oil of Bayelsa, Jigawa cannot have a share. No way. I don't mind us talking like that. But as of today, that oil, we shall do everything within our means, everything with our blood, to defend our oil in Bayelsa. We will do everything possible to defend that oil in Bayelsa. It belongs to Jigawa State as well. So that's what I want them to understand. This country fought civil war. And that's probably why we are still together. And anybody who threatened, unless if we are defeated, then we can leave the oil. But if anybody threatens the flow of oil, we shall fight and make sure oil flows. Ijo oil, Bayelsa oil belongs to Jigawa people. And we shall do everything possible to defend our oil in Bayelsa. Because God put our oil in Bayelsa, just like God has put mineral resources of Bayelsa in Jigawa. Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belongs to Jigawa. As long, yes, because we are called Nigeria today.
Do you understand? That is the picture of Nigeria everywhere you go. Even if your parent told you that you are a Nigerian because of this or that, the truth of the matter is this: the picture of that identity your parents told you to defend, even they themselves couldn't defend anything about Nigeria, for real. It is a fraudulent contraption that doesn't make any sense. Does the video you listened to earlier make any sense to you? Maybe not, but it makes some sense to these people because they know what they are talking about. As long as Nigeria is Nigeria, the oil in Jigawa belong to, or the oil in Bayelsa belong to Jigawa. The oil in Rivers belong to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belong to Sokoto. The oil in Ondo belong to Zamfara. That oil that is there in Imo belong to Nasarawa or somewhere else. They shall have everybody who owns those things. But we are not talking about oil now. When Masari said they used the money from the north to develop the south, that is why the south is more prosperous, and therefore the southern Nigeria or any other state thinking of keeping their own VAT, they are jokers. But for educational purposes now, in particular for educational purpose now, you, since you have been reading the story or history of Nigeria, let us start from when Usman Dan Fodio, the first jihadist, the first terrorist to carry out terrorism in what is now today's northern Nigeria. Before Usman Dan Fodio, this is what the land that is now called Nigeria today, this is what it looked like and still pretty much look like. Okay? Now, you have the indigenous people, you have those that will say they are, they are like migrants and all of that. However, nowhere in the map or every land that make up Nigeria today where you will see anywhere of Fulani extraction. No insult to you, please, if you're a Fulani man. I'm talking about until 1908. Until 1809, rather. When Usman Dan Fodio carried out that jihad. The jihad that some of the great grandchildren of Usman Dan Fodio, who are now in power in Nigeria, are hell-bent in completing and winning. Right. Then, when they decided, or let me say, when the colonialists, when they came, they were controlling northern Nigeria, what was then called the Northern Protectorate, Southern Protectorate. The Southern Protectorate covers everywhere that is now made up of Southern Nigeria of today. The green vegetarian and all of that you have in Southern Nigeria makes us, and then the access to the sea to help the colonialists then, whose only business was exploitation of the land. Nothing about development per se. Nothing really about, building a real relationship between these two different possible countries. But for their own economic reasons, they decided that it will be easier and administratively, it will become cost effective if they could merge the two protectorates together rather than run them as two countries. That was how northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria of today became one. But another reason why the colonialists decided to merge the north to the south is because it was only the southern Nigeria that was always in surplus when it comes to either taxes paid, the GDP of the south at the time, And it was only in the north that the British colonialists, they were running at loss. I'm telling you real story now, real history. Don't mind me the way I put it. I'm putting it the way I believe that myself and my friends will understand better, right? They were running at loss. They were borrowing those who were supposed to be the administrators of the northern Nigeria in order to run the colonialist government of northern Nigeria. That was another reason why they marched. The first reason why they marched the north to the south was for easy transportation of everything they are extracting, the farm produce they are getting from northern Nigeria, where people were working like slaves, same thing in the southern Nigeria. So, but the produce from the north, how can they get them down to the sea? They needed the rail line. And to make this not too cumbersome for them, they merged two different people together completely for economic reasons and at the same time for administrative reasons. There was never any time in history that northern Nigeria, no time in history. If you have it, you can share with me or share with us. There is no time in history that northern Nigeria, even when they were practicing regionalism, there was never a time in the history of Nigeria that northern Nigeria packaged money and they gave the money to any region, even when they were practicing. So when they got their one Nigeria together in 1966 and they destroyed regional system of governments, suspended regional system, and they forced on everybody forced everybody to agree to one Nigeria and start shouting unity, 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 turned every one of you to unity beggars while they continue to profile and kill as they could. There was never any time in history. Never. And since 1966, it has been the sharing and sharing where it became a Bambi Allah system. Bambi Allah system that northern Nigeria, that Masari said, were those who developed Lagos, were those who developed Oyo State, were those who developed rivers. How come that for 22 years, they couldn't develop the same north? Same way they developed those places. 19 states in the north, only 2 of them are viable, Kaduna and Kano. The rest of them, they are lepers, they are leeches, scroungers, scavengers. They live on everything that comes from every part of Nigeria. And they can tell story. Look at this Masari. Is the same guy that paid 500 million naira to terrorists called bandits in Katsina State. And he came out later, 3 months after that, and he said, well, it was a big shock that we advise everybody never to negotiate with terrorists again. They duped him. They collected 500 million naira from him. How did he pay 500 million naira? Because he's getting free money from Abuja. The free money that is not free is coming from you, the South, that has been funding them, funding their terrorism, funding their fake lifestyle, funding their sheikh, funding their sultan, funding their emir, jobless leeches who are all there producing absolute nothing. Katsina State generated just 1.2 billion in 8 months of VAT. Guess how much they collected in that 8 months? They collected 32 billion. That is the Katsina State that is calling those that gave them that money, calling them jokers if they are not going to give them the money again. It was the same Masari, the governor of Bukwari State. It was him that was doing empowerment for widows, and he was giving them one ogufe-ish, so that they can raise the ogufe and fight poverty. It was the same Masari that was doing empowerment for dead people, donating coffins, and they put them as part of the state government's budget that they spent millions on. That same guy is the one that wants to tell everybody else who is doing everything to upgrade the lifestyle, the life of the people they are at least managing. Look at Oyo State, Seyi Makinde in 2015, in 2019, Even with what is that one called? Ajirebi, the other guy that died, the former governor, recording his own success that yes, they generate in a year, they generate more than 10 billion on VAT. The 10 billion that they will actually probably have to get more. Just same way like my own state, Ogun State. Seyi Makinde came, and in 2 years, let's be factual, in 2 years, this he improved the IGR for your state to some extent, and he didn't do any magic. He just blocked loopholes. For example, look at all those parks where they are collecting rabba in Ibadan. For every day they collect money in Oyo State, all those free money, Agbero, like that, hundreds of millions of naira goes into the private pocket of criminals, most of them who had no value other than violence to the society. Seyi Makinde came. He said he's blocking the loopholes. Face wahala with the park managers, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? In 8 months, Oyo State generated 65 billion naira on VAT alone. Guess how much they were given? 42 billion. That's how much they got. Why Katsina State, where Boko Haram comes from, where Masaku, the terrorist founder, came from, he generated 1.2 billion, collected 31 billion. How many percentage is that? Do you get me now? Some said Monsheruku, Baba boy, but that's not even all. Some of these states have started collecting it now, and we say, you know what? Thank you. If you are so rich, we don't know which money you gave to the South. We don't know. They were bragging about their groundnut pyramid, and we ask, how come you have not been able to replicate that? You are bragging about your cows, and why Nigerians must accept your cows as the national image, national symbol. But yet, no single one of you in any of these northern states seen the opportunity to invest the little money you are getting free of charge from Abuja, invest it on this your cows, become the hub where they will see what Ruga looks like, accommodate all these Fulani terrorists and killers, put them to work, build ranches for them in your own occupied lands. Use them, set an example, because of course, free money is not always free. Somebody is picking up the bill. And when they say they are no longer paying the bill, trust me, that free flow will stop eventually. So, yeah, where Masari said they developed the South, can Masari please develop Boko Haram states and improve his own IGR, improve his own VAT, and improve the life of his people enough that he won't have to wait every month for the free 30 billion extra that he's going to get from other people who are doing the same, to not abort terrorists, to not pay up terrorists, to not give terrorists the breathing space in southern Nigeria. Even though terrorists have overrun their own region, so terribly bad that they are so shameless, right, that they pretend like it's not happening, right? The southern Nigerian came together that in order to stop the economic jihad that these terrorists are waging, we will have to stop them, or else we are doomed. Boko Haram closed the southern border, especially the Ogun State border with Benin Republic, for more than a year now. It will be it's actually 2 years now. September 2019. This is September 2021. And they remain closed, shut. People's businesses destroyed. They said they were shutting the border because of smugglers. But guess what? In northern Nigeria, they didn't shut it. Well, they didn't even have any border to shut. The terrorists are walking in and out. And if they ever get caught, bros, they will get pardoned. They will get paid. And they will get released into the same communities that they burnt down, to see the IDP, the people sent to refugee camps, people killed in their prime. That is the situation that brought about the economic ruin, economic destruction, and the only lifeline that is keeping northern Nigeria together right now to be pretending that they are still actually existing is because Nigeria is existing. If you cut off everything that supply blood into the veins, where these people, these suckers, these blood suckers, where they suck you from, and they then turned everybody into where they want us. They have made us to share in their misery. Now, the miserable existence that these miserable people in charge of the northern Nigeria have brought upon Nigeria, the only way to sustain it is to keep all of us together. If you break Nigeria today, if you cut off all the finances, trust me, Nigeria will crash, and buried within weeks. And it's going to start from northern Nigeria. So if Masari said you are jokers, they are waiting for the time. Mind you, they are only buying time. They are waiting for the time so that they can use their National Assembly, use their courts, use their every other thing to ensure that that money does not stop. Now it's now left for to those who told us that they are stopping it. Lagos State have started collecting their own VAT, by the way, which simply means even if they go into any negotiation later, maybe, just maybe, for Lagos State that generated over 460 billion in 8 months, and they only collected 140 billion within that same, within that same 8 months. Okay. Now, if Lagos decide to keep all of their money, they can decide to say, you know what, we will give you 50 billion. We are keeping the rest, and they will have right to do that. As we speak, Delta State said they are going to start collecting their own money. Bayelsa said they are going to start collecting their own money too. Bayelsa is generating, well, within 8 months, Bayelsa generated close to 9 billion naira. The Bayelsa state on Nigeria is one of the poorest states in Nigeria. Can you believe that? And Bayelsa state should have been one of the richest with the deposit of their own oil that they continue to drill, and the people there continue to live and wallow in abject neglect. No joke, right? So Bayelsa State is still generating something that could sustain them. But again, it's not enough. But they said they're going to keep their money. Even though they get more, they got about 25 billion within 8 months, even though they only generated about, you get what I mean? Let everybody go work hard. If you are paying terrorists, stop paying them. Use the money to provide security. Let people go back to work. Let people go back to farm. Let the schools stay opened. Let businesses run. Stop breaking bottles of beer. Stop your sanctimonious nonsense. Stop your hypocrisy. Because even if for now you manage to drag this on for a while, but the pointer is there now. It's obvious that the southern Nigeria are beginning to come to one point. Even the political class, who are always like, pretenders and manipulators, one way or the other, they are dancing to the tune of those who are tired of Nigeria. Among those, the things that the southern Nigerian governors have told them is that if the northern Nigeria, if any political party presents any northern candidates in 2023, nobody will vote for them from the south. Does that not correspond with what those guys from the north, Northern Coalition Group or something they call themselves, those guys who played ransom, who placed the ransom on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you remember them? They said they have the number, they have 150 million people that will vote, and all of you can go and vote for one candidate. They will vote for one candidate. The southern governors have just said the same, and they said, well, if you are not going to let another southerner be the president after Bukwari, then forget it. We are never going to vote for. That's political statement, yeah? It doesn't really matter. Now, small. There's enough from shaking like this. Dance, they start. Small. Whatever everybody is looking for, when they get to a point that they get to that disappointing point, which we know that they're going to get to, they're going to come around like full circle and say, well, you know what? Let's begin to cut off every other thing. In fact, we don't want to share our resources with the North anymore. So let them use their cows. Cow is more expensive than a barrel of crude oil now. A barrel of crude oil is 75 naira. Okay? Let's even forget VAT now. Okay, the oil no even make money anymore, right? $75 per barrel. A cow is sold for somewhere around $300, $400. Even with as terrible as Nigeria money is now, you still have to get set to sell it for somewhere around there. I mean, to buy it for somewhere around $300, $400 per cow. So one cow is bigger than 1 barrel of crude oil. So this is an opportunity for these guys especially Masari, who is telling us now that they are the ones who developed the southern Nigeria. They were the ones who used the money from the north to develop the south, to develop the refineries, to develop this and that. No wahala. Una don't do. The looting don't do. The poverty you brought upon us don't do. The terrorism don't do. Don't spend your money on southern Nigeria anymore. Now start using that money. Even if you have some tech-savvy guys within you in northern Nigeria, you don't need to use cryptocurrency. You can create your own cryptocurrency backed by hundreds of millions of, robust cows in northern Nigeria. If you have people who can put economic, stuffs to indices together, something that will make presentable enough, you can start your own cryptocurrency. And so many people who don't like your cows, they may buy your cryptocurrency because it's a digital money and they can resell it and make more money. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? So that means if you want to buy, instead of buying one cow, I'm actually giving them the idea now. This is 21st century where you don't have to make anybody your property, anybody your slave. It is a free world. You can create something out of this. The South can do a lot of things too. So if you don't have money from the South that is keeping everybody together, how about you create something out of something so unique that you value so much that you want to take over the land from everywhere, all over the place? How about the great people who had the idea to develop the southern Nigeria, that southern Nigeria is prosperous, which is not true, okay? Those great people, are they dead? How about you put all your own resources together? If you can't build your pyramid, groundnut pyramid anymore, if you can't build or grow farm, anything anymore, cow is the new currency. Fine, it makes sense. You have millions of your cows that you don't know where to put them, and they are causing havoc everywhere. Terrorists have taken over the whole thing, and now your people are being kidnapped and killed, and you have no option or alternative other than to ask people to give them land. How about you put all of them in your desert? You put all of them in your Sambisa forest. Millions of cows, tag them, name them, give them numbers, give them ID card, like you suggested at the National Assembly of Nigeria. Don't let Nigeria be part of that. Do it and make a hell of money from it. And I'm not even joking. This is not a joke. And I know some people who are actually listening to this knows that I'm actually saying something that is so reasonable that if people are actually indeed, if they love themselves and they have not become so complacent, so dependent, so lazy, which they have become, if they are so intelligent enough to make their people prosperous, I just gave you a hint. Turn your cows to cryptocurrencies. So if you want to buy, like you buy a cryptocurrency. So if you buy cryptocurrency now, they may tell you that one Dogecoin, one this coin, one that coin. If you can buy a coin for $1,000. You can buy a coin for $500. It depends. People say it's like stock. Put your cows in Sambisa forest. Give them names and tag. Give them ID card. And then put the cryptocurrency online. And imagine how people will respect you. Imagine the fortune you are going to build. Imagine how many of those Fulani roamers that are roaming everywhere. Imagine how many of them will become sudden billionaires. Because you know what? A barrel of oil is $75. A cow can be sold for up to $400. A big fat cow can be sold for $1,500. And I'm not even joking. It is not a ram when you use the cell phone, to record an infidel, unbeliever, and you are slitting their throat. just to show the whole world that you are working for Allah and these guys are unbelievers. You are slitting their throat, yeah, killing them, recording it and uploading it on the Aram platform, social media, to tell all of us how many people you have killed, how many villages you have ransacked. And some of you as well who are telling us Sharia this, Sharia that. All of these things can work together if you stay alone. Then say na only parasite. They say na only parasite. They scare to stay alone. Because when parasite doesn't have a host to feed on, I think this is biology, Abi. Is it biology? Some of you who are science students, bless I don't turn into biology now, Abi. Parasite will die if the parasite is alone, if a parasite doesn't have a host. So parasite needs a host to survive. It is only parasites that are scared to live alone because they will die. You have access to the central bank. They can print money anytime. They don't have to work for it. They just have to get people running up and down, carrying their briefcases, carrying their Agbada and Babariga, going here and there and the rest of that. Abi? And then wait at the end of the month, they collect money. They meet together, they share it. How much are you giving me? How much is my security vote? Oh yeah, remove them. How much is okay? Yeah, all right. Chief Imam of Dansa Dow District Court. They said the roof of their mosque is leaking, sir. Say, okay. Give me the names of all the mosques that their roofs are leaking in the entire state. They will come back. They'll say, Your Excellency, sir, we have 35 mosques that are due for renovation. Okay. Do they need a gay aluwala? They say they need a gay aluwala. Okay, you buy them a gay aluwala 50-50, put them in those places and write it 100 million for renovation of mosque. And then people will say he's doing the work of Allah, even if their children cannot go to school, even when they are sick, that they have no access to real medical care, even though they are not safe in their homes. As long as the governor remember to renovate their mosque, as long as the governor send money to their subui prayer, and they say from the governor of this state, he said we should pray for the governor. Everybody here collect. You go there to pray to Allah. Say, God, Allah, pray this morning. Oh, I'm going out to Bambi Allah Shiriabu, Bambi Allah Shiriabu, Bambi Allah Shiriabu. Amen. And you want to go out, they say, hey, wait. Ashiri don't bow. Here, from Masari, he said, make them give you 300 naira for our mosque, our parish. They say, pray for the governor to you know what I'm talking about? Free money. They do nothing. That is why they are called parasites. And because they do nothing, they have also made their 150 million voters, as they said, to become useless. How can you have 150 million out of 200 million people in Nigeria? They said they have 150 million and they can elect any president anytime. Before, you go think say na joke. Now, before na leg that they take trek from Chad, from Mali, from Niger, from all these places to come and vote in Nigeria. Bokuwari and his gang, they decided to borrow money in your name, total of $7 billion, to build rail line, a train from Kano to Maradi in Niger Republic, so that these people can come en masse. But the only thing they are good for is to come in and help them vote. Triple, quadruple the number. But they are useless afterward. What kind of leadership is that? How can you be from northern Nigeria and be comfortable with such leadership and you defend them just because of the little leverage you have? And that is why we said, listen, some of us know the source of the funding that makes them look like they are actually leaders rather than the parasites that they are indeed. So when you begin to cut off the branch little by little, the reality will set in. The born to rule or born to ruin louds, they will soon find and discover their true place. Let them flex it while it lasts. And everybody wants to have a share in the cookie jar. That's why Femi Okpono, not even Femi Okpono additional this time around. Femi Fani-Kayode told us that he is already working on different other governors that are also going to join APC, Egbe, before 2023. Then he called Miss Jan when he said he was the one who brought Devil Umahi of Ebonyi to APC. Devil Umahi didn't really like that. But in order to quote Femi Fani-Kayode, some said it's Food Fani-Kayode, but whatever you want to say. Don't say Femi, just say Food Fani-Kayode. FFK had this to say about his crossover night.
Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode joins us now from our Abuja studio. Thank you, Chief Fani-Kayode, for joining us tonight on the program. I appreciate it. Let's begin the conversation. It comes to a lot of Nigerians as a surprise that it was some months ago like a rumor, but now it's a real story. It's no longer a rumor. It's real that you have joined the APC. And when we wonder that you met with the president today, one man that you heavily criticized, you called him some names, you brought up some rhetorics that became much more like led the conversation in the last election when you were the director of media for the PDP. And this is the same man that you have met today. What exactly changed from then and now?
Thank you very much, for having me on your program, and to God be the glory and blessed be his holy name. Well, a lot has changed over the last 6 years, and it is important that we make the right choices and the right decisions at the right time, precisely if we feel as if we are being led by God to make those choices. I make my choices. I owe nobody any explanation or apology other than my family members and other than my God. And I know that I'm doing the right thing. The most important thing for me, and I think some will appreciate this, is that there is no point in having any principle without power. You must have power in order to ensure that whatever principles you enunciate, you can effect them. Without that, you'll simply be talking and nothing will change. I've discovered over the last few months that I can work very closely with people within the APC and elements within the government to effect a change. And we've done quite a lot of that over the last few months without me even joining the party. And it has been very effective. I've collaborated with many people within the party, many of the governors in the party, and I will continue to collaborate with them, even some outside the party. But the most important thing for me right now is this. This country, in my view, is on the brink of war.
Now, he's been collaborating with many of them, but when Umahi heard that, Umahi didn't like it. But who cares? His response.
You were in the PDP, now in the APC. Just yesterday, one of another major generals in the PDP is now in the APC, and he said he was quite instrumental to your move from the PDP to the APC. Is that what tipped the whole process and made you move to the APC?
I think he needs to withdraw that statement. He's my good friend. But it was, an insult of my person and the other governors. The man did not know when I moved, but incidentally, he visited me and we discussed. And he said he was coming to join me with the other governors to declare. How would somebody in PDP be instrumental to my moving? You know, a whole governor of the state, and not even a small governor, you know, an experienced governor. So he has to withdraw the statement. He was never part of any discussion of my movement. I moved to move southeast to the center of administration. I moved to close the gap, you know, between the center and southeast, which our forefathers fought for, like Nnamdi Azikiwe. So, you know, for somebody to come and say that a whole chairman of Southeast Governors Forum, he was instrumental to that, it's a bit an insult on my person. And without, with due respect, he has to withdraw that statement. He remains my friend and a good one for that matter, but he played no role in my movement, and I'm sure he didn't play any role in the movement of the rest of us.
Blessing at the memo be that. But some of them are going to witness the reason why Food Fonica or they actually joined them. Okay. But let's talk about Professor Obadiah Mailafia, the man that told us about the terror of the Fulani terrorists, their plan, and what they intend to do and why, and what they will do to him. They announced today that Professor Mailafia died in Abuja Hospital. Nobody heard that he's sick, but it's so shocking that people are beginning to point fingers that maybe something went wrong. And I don't pretty much want to buy into that, as much as I will also not pretty much ignore people's concern. Is being discussed out there, right? And you know, something that seems to point to something similar was when he told us about the plan and the plot of the Fulani terrorists in southern Nigeria. He was invited, stood up by the DSS. And that raised suspicion at the time that why should the Bukwari's government always go after people who actually talks about the terrorists, the criminals, rather than go after the criminals? And if you found the information not true, then you can go after anybody who gave the information. But why do you go after them all the time? Outside the DSS office, when they dragged him to the office, he said this a while ago.
Yes. I am the voice of thousands of voiceless people. Millions. Oh yes. Muslim youths have taken me as their voice. Yes. Right. Christian youths have taken me as their voice. Yes, sir. Thousands of people have been killed in this country. Yes, sir. In Borno, in Yobe, in Adamawa, in Katsina, in Daura, in Birningwari, in Zamfara, in Niger, in southern Kaduna, in Benue, in Plateau, where we are today. I've mentioned Adamawa, all over the country. Even the other day, a pregnant woman was killed in Bayelsa. I am the voice of the holy martyrs. Amen. And if I perish, I perish.
God rest his soul. People are concerned. Here is another conversation he had with another guy who had to run for his life from Nigeria, Mr. Fix Nigeria. If you know the guy on AIT, the guy that is always bringing the Twitter conversation onto the TV for you at home. The conversations that are pretty much about the political situation, the country situation of Nigeria at the time. And AIT was pretty much like, you know, they dealt with them. Laya Muhammad dealt with AIT, and they told AIT to stop that guy from presenting that program. Afterward, they started inviting him as usual, intimidating him, harassing him, until the man ran away quickly from Nigeria to save his head. He spoke with Professor Mailafia, and a clip from that conversation is this for your viewing.
I'm talking to you. I'm in hiding. Right now, not even my wife knows where I live. Wow. Yes. What they planned was that they would keep me there and interrogate me till past midnight. Then what they will then do is to say, look, it's too late to return me home, that I should just stay in the prison next door. And they had already paid somebody who's on death row that in the middle of the night, he will just get up and kill me. Yes. So they told my wife, look, call Washington, call everywhere. And actually, there was a call from the White House. In fairness to the Americans, there was also a call from London. There was a call from Germany. There's a call from France to Abuja to tell them that they warn them that they must make sure that no harm comes to me. And then when they saw the crowd, I think that is what then made them to backtrack. But they never quite gave up. And I praise some of the DSS people because they were very professional. They were very civil. But they were, of course, working under instructions. Right. And the people, their bosses, I think, had an agenda that I must be silenced at all costs. It's just that they looked at the scenario, they looked at, and then my son, who lives in Brussels, he also addressed the media. He called London, he called the EU Parliament. He even had a press media conference that was carried by channels. He didn't tell us, he just did it on his own. So the publicity over my case was such that they felt cornered. It became very difficult to them. Now, over a month ago, they tried to bomb my house. Some people called me and said I had a parcel from the United States and they needed to deliver it to my house. I should give them the address. I hesitated and, but I got winds that, it was not really a parcel. There was something else behind it. And, but I would have still sent people, but at dawn, the morning in which I was supposed to go to take delivery, I dreamt and I saw that my whole house had crashed with everybody inside, including myself. It was like a warning dream. Then that dream came, I said, I think the Almighty must be telling me to be careful with this thing. So I decided to switch off my phones for 2 days. They've never called me to this very day. Wow. They've never called me.
May God rest his soul. And we were told that he was 64 years old when he died. And we hope that we'll get to know more on what really happened to Professor Obadiah. As another voice gone, Yinka Odumakin died as well. Just some months back, a few months back. These are the voices that are the voices of awakening. That somehow keeping the tyrant on his toes. Somehow they are leaving us. And we are not getting any real explanation why. So for those who are still with us, this is why we have to stand with them while they are still here. These animals, these criminals will do anything and everything. Yeah? To keep all of us silenced and buried. If they do that to us, how do you think our own children will survive? Would they have to go back and start eating their vomit? Would they have to go back and become beggars? Would they have to go back and lose their complete identity? What will be their lot? I will leave that to you. Since I said I'm going to open the line, so I'm going to open the line now. So it is a WhatsApp call, and it's just going to be for just about half an hour, and we're going to stop after that, okay? So please stand firm, stand together, and get to know what is going on. If you probably have to know what is going on, you have the opportunity of never to be in the darkness, right? Or in the dark. And when it is time for you to make a decision on anything at all, you won't be among those they can easily manipulate and join the bandwagon of their mob. Ignorant lots. Good evening. Okay, I think I lost that first call. Probably they are not sure Maiyegun is live, but Maiyegun is live. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Maiyegun.
Good evening to you. Your name, sir?
My name is Wale. I'm calling from Kent.
Wale from Kent. You are live.
Yes. Thank you so much, Maiyegun. I'm just happy I'm the first caller tonight. You know, I've been following your program like everyone.
Thank you.
God bless you for what you've been doing and what you will continue to do.
Thank you.
You know, you know, you won't, you know, what you lay your hands on shall prosper.
Amen.
I'm just going to spend like 2, 3, 5 minutes.
Please.
You see the problem with Nigeria. You know, you've enlightened us, and it's high time, you know, we come to our senses. Let us forget about all this panicayode or whatsoever. I will say 2 things. There's this lady, I don't know, maybe on your program you go, maybe her name is Princess.
Yo, Princess, she's watching.
My mind. Yes, she said my mind. Maiyegun. Nigeria is you know, the Bible said the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
That's right.
My brother. Nigeria is like, they are still dreaming. Igbowo, Nnamdi Kanu, they won't be the one to fight this case. I want to my jaogun, he want watching soon. Not teach. Trust me. Because we are talking about we want to break up. Do you think all these governors, all these pastors, all these senators, do you think they want to give that away?
No. I won't even think it, because we can tell that they would never want to give it away. That's why they don't want to have a conversation around it.
They don't. And there's a saying, and this is what I want everybody to do. My name is Wale. You know, I think, because I'm so passionate, you know, any to ba bimo, any to ba wa ni biti ya wetin bimo. Permit me to say this in Yoruba.
Please go on, sir.
Whoever is beside the wife having a birth of a baby, what they went through, and someone is standing up. You see all these pastors, all these people, they can't even speak up. All the kings. Those that have died untimely through this insecurity, bad roads. We only live once. And people are dying every day. And you see all our celebrities, they are happy, they are spraying money. You said something one day, is Afghanistan loading. There is a saying, until you discover, then you recover. Until then, they will continue to be in this mess. It's not about Igbo. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu. But one thing I want Nigerians to know is, you see all this Western world, you chat from today, from tomorrow, they won't do anything.
They don't care. Yeah.
It's in your hand. It is when you take us, okay, they will kill people. What about those people that are traveling on the road? They get killed. They get kidnapped. Come on. It's like our reasoning, and I think, those people back home, they are still playing football in the evening. That they will pack their things that I'm traveling tomorrow. So they are not yet ready.
Not ready.
Until they discover, then they will recover. We need to do this thing by ourselves. All this United Nations, we are going to this. No, the violent take it by force, because the people we are dealing with, my brother, we will continue this agitation for the next 25th if we don't take actions. But the people that are going to do these things, watching so much, it's not about Igbo. Until we take it to them. Because I want to they never implicate that. They never, people should think we only live once. I want to why are people scared? Why are they afraid? I want to they need to wake up. Until then, people, I used to say this, maybe you still remember. Some people will see post paper pull, is the stage. If the stage, it is then they will know we need to face these people. Forget about Fanika, they are all Olori, all these pastors, all of them. Because they can't talk. All these celebrities, they can't talk. They can't come out, they can't do. Afghanistan loading, if they like, they should wake up now. Otherwise,
thank you so much, Alexa. Thank you very much. Let me take another one too.
Thank you so much, Maiyegun.
Yes,
thanks for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, that's a good one. From Wale from Kent. I have another caller. Hello there. One name. How are you?
It's me, Ogunofo.
Ogunofo.
Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis. How are you?
It's been long. I'm fine. It's been long I called.
I know it's been, and it's good to hear from you again, by the way. And you are live now.
I'm happy to hear your voice. How is your family?
We are fine. And now it's yours.
We are fine as well. I'm expecting a baby boy very soon.
Oh, lucky you. Yeah, I mean, I know that feeling. Congratulations, eh?
Thank you in advance.
Well, it's nothing like in advance. From day one, you've been looking forward to that anyway. So it should be a congratulations every day for you and your missus. But yeah, that's mine for now. Because the next time I'm going to speak to you, it may be when the woman is here, the young man. Oh,
yes.
Congratulations once again, anyway.
Thank you. Thank you, Wanda Woki. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Now, go on.
You remember the last time I told you that my year will not last up to December?
I told you that. And this will be the third time that you will repeat it.
And I also told you that when Nigeria will break, they will break more than 6 places. I told you that. It's not just the 6, it's more than 6. It's happening gradually because now you have the Niger Delta, the Biafrans, the Oduduwas, the Middle Belt, the Hausa people are even coming up with their own things. More is going to still come up, you see, with time. And that will make the breaking up of Nigeria very easy because when more groups are coming up, there will be no this thing to hold. They can't hold any group ransom anymore.
I mean, it will be obvious that you are just going to have to fight every tribe, everybody in the country there, yeah?
And it will boil down to one thing. Maiyegun, take my word, write it down today. finally, we will have no Fulani in Nigeria because they were not originally Nigerians. Finally, when the whole tribe stand up for their right, Fulanis will be excommunicated from Nigeria totally, wiped out, off they go. Well, another thing I want to speak about this night is I am saying it in the face of God and man, just like as I told the Biafrans the day Nnamdi Kanu was adopted in Kenya. I told them that Britain know what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. Britain set him up. They didn't want Nnamdi Kanu to be picked up in Britain because it was going to raise eyebrows. So they now pushed it down to Kenya. And that is why they're not taking any action about Kenya. They are even trying to help Kenya suppress the matter. I told them, everybody was like, are you sure? I know that there is no how Nnamdi Kanu using British passports will be arrested in Kenya or kidnapped in Kenya without Britain not knowing, because there's no how. Kenya will call Britain first and tell them, it's Britain that will give them the order to send him back to Nigeria, because they know if Kenya bring him back to Britain, Nnamdi Kanu will still remain a free man. That is one. Another thing I'm going to tell you again, just as I said in Nnamdi Kanu's own, I am telling you the gospel truth. Obadiah he was terminated, he was killed, he was assassinated by Nigerian government. I am saying it
the only person saying it. Oh. People are already suspecting
him because they're like, we
should hear that he's sick.
It's a matter of they just told one of the doctors to inject him. He was poisoned. And the kind of poison they will poison him is that type of poison, something like cyanide. You cannot dictate it. It will not show that he was poisoned. It will take special this thing to find out that he was poisoned. Obadiah was poisoned. He was killed by Nigerian DSS. This thing, I'm not hiding it.
There are some of this heart attack induced injection that will just look like you have an heart attack. And everybody will just rule it out. Post-mortem, everything we just say is that attack.
It's not only that. There are a lot of injections, man. There are injections they will give you. The person will just go, will just have low blood pressure, not even high blood pressure. He will just fizzle out gradually. It will need a very, very high qualified specialist to do his autopsy, to declare that. And they don't have such people in Nigeria. You start taking his corpse to abroad. They know nobody will find out. But the truth, check it. He was not sick. 2 or 3 days ago, he was sick. We
will hear that he's in the hospital. Obadiah has been sick for the past few days. He's been in Abuja hospital. We never heard anything. No, everybody just woke up this morning to say the guy died. Just like that.
Thank you. He was speaking 2 or 3 days ago on the public, on the international, on the distant TV there.
Zoom meeting.
It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. It's either he went for a checkup or something, because he's an elderly man who go for a checkup. Maybe when he went to checkup, just tell one of the doctors. Just tell one of the doctors, give them a substance to just.
And he said it in that video. He said they never gave up and they keep coming. They keep coming. That despite the fact that
let me say it now on the national TV. Nigerian government is using one pattern. When I was in the Navy, we'll call it verify and terminate. You verify your problem and terminate it immediately. That's the pattern they are using. All the people that is going to give them problem, all the people that knows their secret, all the people that is trying to make the world understand what they are doing, they are taking them out one after the other. Take your time, check very, very well. They can't take Sunday Igboho out and Nnamdi Kanu because the whole world, the eyes of the whole world is on these people. If they do it, the world will just understand what they are doing. You understand? So now the game now they are using for Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu is, since they cannot kill them, they are docking them away somewhere that they will be useless. They can't do anything. They can't take any effect. They can't have any effect. Just take them out. That's the way they have taken them out. They can't kill them. If they try to kill Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, hell will lose upon them. So the best thing is to just keep them away. Keep them away. But you see these other small voices around, I tell you, before December, they will clear all of them. The same pattern. The Yoruba man they killed last time, remember? Nobody knows what happened to him. This other presidential aspirant that died last time.
That one, they said that COVID, though. That was even recovering, then boom.
Which COVID? You don't know there's a vaccine There's a vaccine on board now that they say it's COVID vaccine. It's not COVID vaccine. That vaccine is like poison. When you go for this thing, they'll give you the injection as COVID injection. It's poison. You're gone. When they treat you, you will not die that time. After some time, you start developing symptoms. You go back before you know it, the person gives up. It's COVID. It's not COVID. There's a particular injection.
Let me take other calls too to save our time. Okay, it's been a pleasure hearing from you again. Honestly,
that's it, my brother. That's what Nigerian government is doing. That's the gospel truth.
Systemic assassination. Have a nice night without using gun.
That is it. Have a nice night.
And you too, Baba. I'm sending well to the missus. Yeah, tell her I say
I will, and your own family too.
Thank you. That's deep. I mean, we need to manage the time as well. I have another caller, and I think this is Princess. Princess, is that you?
Yeah. Yes, Maiyegun, good evening. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine, Baba. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks for joining us tonight again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So many people have said.
They said all of you doing gra in Lagos. If you know your story, you know go they do gra. They use northern money to build Lagos for all of you. All of you can't do like, people will say God is behind you.
Okay.
Difference to Alari, 1.2 billion in 8 months. I think 460 billion. Simple as that.
The money, that money from Granite Pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
That they're so delusional about life. We don't know our own history.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know my own Lagos history. After we were, yeah. Mona no ma so history ofeni. Oh my God. You know, I've said this before that we are not ready.
Mm.
You know, Wale comes down and said we are not ready too. Then the other guy called in and said, hey, by December, whatever it is they said is very valid. Because they come from 2 different ethnic groups. The other guy that called the second time was an Igbo guy.
Mm-hmm.
So common sense will tell you that Igbos are working towards the breakup. Wale Yoruba man.
I'm with you, Princess. Well, okay.
Hello.
Aye, you're back. Sorry.
If people know the amount of atrocities, yeah. If people know the amount of atrocities, see our country, United Nations. United Nations is America. If you know the amount of war crime those people have committed. We don't fight. Who is this calling me? You will fight your.
I think, Princess keeps getting called, and our call keeps getting interrupted. Really sorry about that, Princess. Okay. Go on.
Yeah, it's network. It's the network. Somebody was calling me. I had to answer and tell the person to stop calling.
Not now.
So we all know what is happening, yeah? At some level or another. But it always eats differently when we all get taken out of our consciousness, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You see, there is something in Remo that they call Emefule. Like Nidele.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Emefule Nidele. Emefule Nidele. Because so past 300 million lost it. Over private jets, over hangers, over Dangote, shower God. I've always told people, give the gun to a man, he will rob a bank. If you give the bank to a man, he will rob the whole country. Now, you know the government provided our school national curriculum. We learn loads of pointless things there that were never about how to make money, how money works, and all that. We all know that. When you steal a little money, you get sent to prison. When you steal so much, you're made a king in this country.
That's right.
We all know that. But we are not going to get what we want. Yeah? And if you look at these Americans very well, that lobbying, what do you think it is, Maiyegun? What do you think lobbying is?
But they gave it a name.
Bribery, Papa.
They call them lobbyists.
Why are these bastards abroad? Why are these light-skinned bastards not against these things? Why are they not against it?
Because the lobbyists are doing their job in Washington, of course.
Maiyegun, the world we see is completely different from the world we live in.
Absolutely.
If only we could just crash the surface and see the hidden word operating in silence and secrecy, then we will understand that we are him. And if we can just not be afraid of the ruthlessness of this elite, we will beat them at their game.
And what
I've always said it, we have the people's power. We have the power. We are the people. We are the leaders we have been waiting for. We will take them down. Maiyegun, we will take them down. I was talking to someone at a friend's shop yesterday. You know, the person was telling me, a man or that somebody, that if he enters his own house, his wife and his children will look at him, the head of the family is there. You know, the man said, you know, it's because of what the people destroyed during NSAS. That's why things are expensive. I told him, I bet it's saying winning.
Olórí ilé kan nìyẹn.
Olórí ilé kan nìyẹn. So I now broke it down that see, people at this government kept borrowing money here and there. And we are the ones that we pay back. People need to be told these things. Because whenever they go to borrow money, they devalue your own money.
That's right.
They print money and standard of living will just skyrocket. I told them they are paying money, they are servicing loans. We are still all in slavery. Whether you like it or not, we are very much in slavery. So if we do not liberate ourselves, nobody will do it for us, Maiyegun. Nobody. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Princess. Yeah. Thanks so much for taking time to complete that with us.
Yes, you're welcome.
That's a good one there from Princess. Never a dull moment. You know that. Now, I have another caller. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, Ma.
I'm so happy I could get through today.
Wow, I'm happy. Is this your first time?
This is my first time calling it.
Wow, your name, please.
After several times. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
My name is Malomo Abati.
Wow. So I'm going to stick to Malomo. So I hope I can have you as long as I can have you on the Maiyegun's Diary this time around, and you become a regular. Okay. So how are you?
Hope so. I'm good, doing good. Yeah.
Great.
I just want to thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the awareness you continue to create for our people. And then I really appreciate that your page, your discussion is always objective and your analysis are straight to the point.
Thank you.
And I hope that everyone that's listening now, although we may be outside the location 419, so to say, our people back home, we really need to carry them along.
Yes.
Every time I hear of the invasion of or the movement of all these killers, I call them killers. I don't have another name for them.
Because that's what they are.
Let our people avoid as much as they can any large gathering.
Okay.
Because somewhere in my mind, it keeps nagging that may be the point where they want to strike. especially during the Christmas season, during the crossover night.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want our people to understand that if there's any invasion at any religious center, the pastors will only save themselves.
That's right.
So our people should have it in their mind to think of their safety first and not to just gather randomly without any thought for their safety.
That's so vital.
And another point I want to bring to people's notice is, as we're creating this awareness, we keep blaming people that are back home. We blame them for their inaction. But I want to believe and understand that the reason we have a different idea of the whole thing is because we have been privileged to move out.
Sure.
And our perspectives of things have changed because of all the things we're benefiting out there.
That's right.
Were we to be at home, we probably would still be living like the same way in a comatose state. Because it's a poverty takes a lot from you. And then this feeling of uncertainty, it renders a lot of people powerless. Although you know what you want to do, but because you don't have the wherewithal to do it, you feel there's nothing you can do. You just move along with the trend.
Absolutely.
My question is, as we are here, what strategies do we have to help the people back home? I know in my mind, talking to some of my friends that I've created the awareness with, they want to do something, but they don't. You're about to pay. So if you don't have anything to fight with, what can you do? People that are hungry. A lot of people are suffering. People are hungry. And it has rendered them powerless. It has rendered them helpless.
It also made them vulnerable and susceptible to manipulation from these politicians.
Manipulation from all these people in power. That is exactly what is happening. We've seen how it can be, that it can be better.
Yes.
So I think as we are creating awareness, are we strategizing with the people back home? I believe that it shouldn't all be just be talk.
Sure.
I've made donations in some other platforms. They will use towards at least maybe amassing weapons of protection.
At least we have something to fall back on.
We have to have something to defend ourselves.
That's right.
We can't continue talking about it. Strategy. What strategies do we have on ground? That's why I drop my heart every day for all these Igbo agitators, all these Igbo people. They are ready at any time. Are we ready? It shouldn't be about talking alone. We have to map our strategies, because I know within me that there's going to be a war and it's going to be bloody. What I'm telling my friends back home is, well, if anybody just feels deems it fit that they can invade your private place and want to do it with you, although you may lose your life in the process, but make sure that person too does not go unhurt.
Of course. I so much appreciate.
That's the kind of mindset we have to be creating. Yeah, that's the kind of mindset we have to be creating with people back home.
Right.
Because part of my pedigree lineage, Oriki, is Oma Shajo Koto Shaki, and I believe Yorubas are that way. Awama Koko Shojoni Koto Dikwa Shaki. But at this stage, you see, we have now gotten to a stage where we really have to rise up and remove fear from our minds.
I love that. I have to say, talking about strategy, right? Talking about strategy. You are so right. There should be something like a center. That was the question I asked Professor Banji Akintoye when they came on Maiyegun's Diary, when it was on Maiyegun's Diary Political. I said, we need something that is pretty much, we know we have so many groups doing this awareness back in Nigeria, outside Nigeria. A lot of awareness is going on that we can't deny today, right? But if we can have a central body like Ilanomo Odua, which seems to be big enough to coordinate everybody, it will be easier for you, it will be easier for me to reach out into a central
and so this is my contribution.
I told him then, and he said they were working on it.
I've made some donations on some platform. Let me not lie to you. I made some donations, and up to now, I'm really discouraged.
You are not really satisfied with the outcome. I can imagine.
I felt donations to go towards empowering our people.
Right.
It should go towards our project.
I have a similar thing in mind. Some people said, we can do a central contribution on Maiyegun's diary political.
If we can do that,
leave it on out
if we can do that, that will help.
Yeah, but it's just that I don't believe, sometimes some of these things are kind of too much for me to handle due to my own life outside this, right?
Understand.
And it comes with a lot of responsibilities, right? I have earned the trust of the people to do such, but it's going to be, it's a bit much for me. That's why I haven't really taken it up. And it's so kind of unusual.
If you're able to liaise with Professor Banji.
Professor Banji Akitoye, I did reach out many times, but it's not kind of so easier for him to respond to the messages, right? So part of the plan then was that we should, maybe we should set up an online donation platform where every donation will be seen by everybody anyway. And then you take them out and give them, but it's still the same thing.
Please,
sorry, go on.
Sorry to cut it short. Yeah, we can't continue blaming the people back home if we are not empowering them in any way.
If we are not.
We can't continue blaming them that they are doing nothing, that they are not ready. Come to think of it. What can anyone do if you don't have something to protect yourself with? We can't continue to blame them that they are not ready. They are not ready. I believe some people are ready.
Is it not?
I know a majority may not be ready because of their own selfish interest, but the other majority on the other side, they are ready. But we need to have a plan.
They need to have the tools to go out there and do the job. I get that.
I do my own little bit from my immediate family members back home, from friends I know. Yeah, I'm doing my bit because you have to be careful to who you discuss with. I'm aware of that. So those close people that I know that I can trust, okay, do it this way. This is the plan for now. You may not have the AK-47. You may not have the big military machinery but at least get knives, get cutlasses. If you have to be a physical, you have to defend yourself. And then I encourage them to do it with parties, religious services. Do your prayer anywhere. God will listen to you.
That's right.
They should stop being gullible. They should stop believing that until they get to church, a place of worship, or a mosque, that's the only time they can serve their God. No. Gone are those days. So let me not take any more of your time.
Thank you so much for the one you have spent with us. It's been so
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been so valuable. I can't really, I'm going to go listen to the call again anyway. But thank you for taking your time.
All right,
and I hope I'm going to be lucky next time. Thank you so much.
I hope so too.
That contribution is really, really very, very, very good. Source of funding, financing, and the rest of that.
Thank you.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Hello.
Maiyegun General. Yeah, èmi wò pé we have the contribution to mission to ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní Yorùbá nation yìí. Èmi fi pé we need to give ourselves a little bit kudos. Last year, tẹ́ bá lọ gbọ́ nǹkan tí lọ́ọ̀yà Sunday Igboho ṣe lọ́gbọ̀n Odùduwà TV. Ó lóun ó wà surprise pé gbogbo èèyàn ló sọ pé báwo la ṣe rí báyìí pé títí wá ti lọ jù. Pé wọ́n fún Odùduwà ní a lot of respect. Ó ní bọ̀ àwọn sáàni bí yíbọn ẹgbẹ́ òun wọ́n kò ń pé how did you guys, you Yoruba people, you are too educated and intelligent. Ipe ewu bi tẹ gbé ti yín gbà. Èmi ò fi bóyá ká máa condemn ara wa lójoojúmọ́. Irú Biafra sí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ di wọn ní 2017. Àwọn abẹ́rẹ́ ti wà ní last year. Ṣé mọ̀ páwọn Yorùbá directorate tàbí kí ló ti ń pè wọ́n? Ṣé mọ̀ pọ́n ní meeting pẹ̀lú àwọn senate ní Minnesota ní America ní next week or after this United Kenya? Wọ́n ti pè wọ́n kọ́ wá sọ̀rọ̀ nínú Senate. Wọ́n ní kọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tó bá ní lọ́wọ́ tó kọ́ wá.
That's class.
So we should give ourselves kudos. Kí ọ̀nkọ́ lè rí àwọn Senate America bá sọ over 10 or 15 people kan tó lè gbà wọ́n wọlé pé àwọn ti fún wọn ní date kọ́ wá sí capital kọ́ wá sọ tẹnu wọn pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ní lọ́wọ́. I mean, we should give ourselves kudos. Kudos.
Agree pẹ̀lú yín lóòótọ́ ni pé we can't really pinpoint pé báyìí ni a ṣe ń ná owó Yorùbá nation tó fi débi tó dé yìí. But there are people who are really dedicated.
Wọ́n solution tí yẹn.
Of course.
Ìyẹn la máa ṣe. Tẹ́ bá wo gbàtọ́ lọ sí United Nations tó lọ rally yẹn. Ṣé mo fáwọn tó wà ní àwọn kan jáde nínú United Nations àwọn bíi secretary kọ̀ọ̀kan. Wọ́n ní kó pe èèyàn mẹ́wàá wá. Wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ báyọ̀ mẹ́wàá. Wọ́n ní kó gbogbo nǹkan tó ní lọ́wọ́ kó kó fáwọn. Gbogbo nǹkan tó fi pé atrocity ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n kó fún wọn náà. Ṣé bí Buhari tó ń lọ kí Buhari tó lè jáde? Ṣé mo pé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí wọ́n gba kínní yẹn làwọn Buhari wá jáde lọ́gbà ìsinmi kígbe pé à ń ṣe bí àwọn Yíbò. Because wọ́n ti sọ àwọn èrò kan ti fún àwọn Buhari lọ́wọ́ pé wọ́n ti lọ gbà kan wọlé lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó wà ráàlì níta yìí o. Tó bá dá Amẹ́ríkà nǹkan tó ń bá fèsì rẹ o. Nǹkan tó bí nínú gangan nìyẹn. Because wọ́n gba pictures, wọ́n pa voice note, wọ́n gba tó ti ń pààyàn tó fíìmù gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Tó wọ́n ẹ ká máa wo ibi tó máa lọ. A kò máa sọ pé ibi tó bá ti kù sí ni ká máa sọ fún wa. Because ká máa fún wa ní kódà ní láti à. Tẹ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ ọkọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀
ṣe rí. Má dàbí pé a ṣe nǹkan kan.
Àwọn continue saying is pé Sunday Igboho gba gbogbo credit ayé yìí. Ẹni kí ló máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Ìjọ tí àwọn Yíbò ti jà, àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n pa àwọn wọlé lé. Ẹ̀yin kọ́ lẹ̀ ń bọ̀ wá, South West ló ń bọ̀ wá. Wọn kọbi ara sí púpọ̀ tẹ bá notice pé wọn kọbi ara sí. Àmọ́ nígbà tí Sunday Igboho bọ́ta tó ka gbogbo nǹkan tó ń mú nínú ilẹ̀ tó ń jẹ ní orí South West àwọn kàbá yẹn wọ́n dìde kíákíá. Níjọ́ tí Yíbò ti ń ṣe rí sàtánà ṣoko tó kó jáde. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn kàbá náà ṣe wọn kọ́ dìde? Wọ́n ò dìde bí wọ́n wò pé port yẹn gangan nìjẹ́ wà. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé gbogbo ayé ló ti lépo. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá ló lépo. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé kò tó wà lógún state lásán tó wà jẹ.
Tó wà ná tó wà lò.
Tí Dákò ti fẹ́ lọ tọwọ́ bọ̀. Tí Amoso jẹ́ kó tọwọ́ bọ̀. Wọ́n wá wò pé ká bá lọ. Ṣé mo kókò sí bí ìlú ṣe lè develop tí ò bá sí port?
No way.
So èmi fi pé torí bá a dá sí i, mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Sunday Igboho. Nǹkan tó dá sí gan ló jẹ́ káwọn selfish leaders wà kọ̀ọ̀kan máa jókòó sí orí table pé ó tọ́ màá ní bọ̀bọ̀ yìí sọ. Nǹkan tó ṣe fẹ́ fa Sunday Igboho nìyẹn. Níjọ́ tí àwọn míì ti sọ pé àwọn lọ, wọ́n rèéfì pọ́ǹtì débi pọ́ǹtì yẹn kò jẹ́ kó dùn ọ́. Ẹ tó sọ fún mi pé gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní pọ́ǹtì lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn fìbọn fẹ́ lọ ni.
Wọ́n fẹ́ lọ.
Especially tí Buhari tó ti wá sọ fún wọn pé kọ́ lọ máa tójú bọ pọ́ǹtì lókè state. Nígbà tó tọ̀ bá lè gbà ní Èkó mọ́. Ṣé mo pé kọ̀tọ́ ṣe ń jà ní tẹ́ bá ló ti pé Buhari fẹ́ pọ́ǹpù owó sí pọ́ǹtì Ogun State.
Àwọn sọ pé fẹ́ bí ìdíkọ́ Ogun State ń sìn mú ń gbọ́.
Nǹkan tó ṣe é ṣe nìyẹn because wọ́n mọ̀ pé ṣé mo pé tó ń fẹ́ ṣe sí yẹn Ìṣàgámù yẹn ó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Èkó State ó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Lagos. Tó èmi sì pé tàbá máa fún wa ní kudos ká fún wa ní kudos ká dẹ̀ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Sunday Igboho. Gbogbo tó wà nílẹ̀ tó ní kálukú ń sáré káàkiri iṣẹ́ tí Sunday Igboho ṣe ni pé wọn ò ní gbà kíníkan wọ́n ti ń pa wá sí pé ká dákẹ́.
ká má parọ́ lóòótọ́ ó change gbogbo direction campaign Yorùbá nation yẹn the moment tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ rally yẹn I have to agree.
Ó ti ń pa wá lábẹ́ àwọn wò báyìí the moment Sunday Igboho dìde ojú wa ti àwọn kàbá ní north. Àwọn náà wá sọ pé kìnìkan àwọn abẹ́rẹ́ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mọ ní ẹ̀bẹ̀ tó fi bẹ̀ láti fa Yorùbá mọ́ra ni torí báyìí tí gbà ní ẹ mọ iye mission tó ti ṣe ẹ mọ iye tó máa ti ṣe pẹ̀lú ọmọ Sunday yẹn lábẹ́ ó di pé inú bí wọn fẹ́ pa. ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ bá lọ kà á sí èèyàn tí Buhari kó dání wá sí èèyàn tí Buhari kó wá sí Amẹ́ríkà kò ṣe é kọ́ torí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìlú ṣe kó òkú tó yẹn wá. Ìgbà tí mo kà over 50 mo ní kí ló dé ṣé torí Yorùbá nation yìí ṣá ló ṣe kó ilé ìdání.
Ìyẹn gan tún kéré àwọn èèyàn tó ń tẹ̀lé ńgbà míì tó bá ti fẹ́ wá sí ọ̀nà àdúgbò yín bẹ̀yẹn àwọn tó ń tẹ̀lé 1 to 200 ńgbà míì.
Ó ti kọ́ ọkọ̀ wá
àwọn kan ti dé láti bí 2 weeks ago.
Àwọn tó wá ń tẹ̀lé àwọn kan ti dé láti 2 weeks ó bá àwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ 220 ti dé láti 2 weeks. Okay, think I'm sure I people are at the correct mistake wa.
We should be got èmi mo agree pẹ̀lú yín lórí yẹn because wọ́n ní alangba tó bẹ́ látorí ìrókò tó wá bẹ́ lulẹ̀ tó ṣàyẹ̀ ìdílẹ̀ pa
mi ò
owó
mọ̀wé
ọ̀tún owó
pa
sí
but
orúkọ ń ṣì wà láyé onítẹ̀nìkọ̀kọ̀ ò bá
èmi ò
yín
tiẹ̀
òun
mọ̀wé pa but.
onítẹ̀nìkọ̀kọ̀ ò bá yín òun yin ara òun so ẹ jẹ́ ká yin ra wa. I
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
agree with you. God bless you, ma.
Okay. Okay.
Bless. Yeah. So that's a good one there. She wants us to stop underrating what the Yorubas agitators have done, how much they have brought the campaign to the world attention, that we should please always give ourselves some pat in the back. Yes, we may not be where we want to be yet, but we should never, ever underplay where we are now so far compared to where we were last year. Sorry for keeping you waiting there, right? Your name, sir?
Oh, it's Bukola from London.
Bukola. Hello, ma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How are you this evening, ma?
Ekale. Very well, thank you. Maiyegun.
Okay, ma.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you,
I'm fine, thank you. We thank God.
Good.
So
how is the weather, by the way? How is the weather, ma?
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Fair
enough. Yes, we haven't hit winter yet, so which
lovely.
Is brilliant.
Lovely.
Compared to where you are in Scotland.
Oh man, don't even dare, right? Even Yakileb was telling me this evening that it's becoming chilly, and I'm like,
exactly.
Well,
put the heating on.
I said, put it on. Right. So you're alive, ma.
It is well. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I agree with my sister that just called you just now that we Yorubas, and I think all the indigenous nationalities as well are trying their best. It's just that maybe the strategy that we're using at the Dupelodo Sunday Igboho, Chief Sunday Igboho for iṣẹ́ takuntakun tó ń ṣe kó tó di pé àwọn tí wọ́n tó ń ṣorí wa níbẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n gbogbo ẹ̀rú.
tó di pé wọ́n fẹ́ pa mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni but àwọn tí wọ́n pa Ọlọ́run á tẹ́ wọn sí afẹ́fẹ́ rere. So we thank God for everything. And what I want to say, because of the previous caller, not the one before that, was going on about war. This is not about war. This is about strategy. This is about using the gift that God has given all of us. Because regardless of war, to
That's
talk.
Right.
So why do we want to lose people's lives?
Ma, I keep telling people same thing, ma. End. Yeah. I tell people, I say, listen, we don't want war. We did not ask for it. The current one we are trying to fight off, we didn't ask for it. They brought it upon us, right? That even if if negotiation fails, if communication and all this conversation fails, right? And we ended up having to go and start killing ourselves and fighting ourselves. At the end of the day, the survivors will still come back to the table they left to go and fight. At the end of the day, that's what we end it.
Absolutely. So it shouldn't be our first point of call, and it isn't. From what Nina is saying, it's all about peace. We want peaceful breakup. That's all we want. Peaceful breakup. Whereas we use strategies to do that.
That's right.
It's just that we need the government to understand that self-determination now has been classified, even if they didn't know that before, under the UN article, is now been classified in Yoruba land or your state.
Yes.
To say, yes, last week.
Yes.
That it is above law. It is legal.
Absolutely. So and that is what legalized it now. They said our self-determination is lawful and it is legal.
Absolutely. We're not agitators. We're not agitators at all, because agitation is a negative word.
That's right.
We're asking for our God-given right, which is our self-determination to determine where we want to be. On our own land. We want to own our land. We want to determine how we cultivate our land, how our people live, and all of that. And in terms of our we already have Yoruba Nation Global Directorate.
That's right.
Which has an account that is verified, which has an account that is audited by external people independently. Why are we Yoruba people wanting to go all over the place? to look for something that is in the
that is right there.
The trousers. As they always say. Why are we doing that? We need to join hands.
Yeah, let me quickly comment there, ma. Right? What I think is this: people will support the good causes that's going on, right? They will support everything, but at the same time, right? They also want to probably have something that is pretty much verified, like you just said now. And I think that is now upon me now to go and work on that and bring that to the public, as into the bigger platform now, and say, well, listen, if you want to reach out, this is a verified source, and that will help us.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but
because yeah, you're right. Because Emeritus Professor Banji has already, back in May or so, had already verified this group and said, "Mo fọwọ́sí, mo sọ pé kẹlọṣe báyìí, mommy." And one thing he said was, it must be independently audited. The accounts must be audited, and there must be a group of accountants behind it. All of that is done, and I don't know why people are still going searching for something that's already there. It's time that we all group together. We all group together, because, to be honest, why do we have so many little groups all over the place? We're just wasting effort.
I wonder.
We're wasting our efforts. We should be very effective. We should be very strategic. When group of intelligent people, let's get behind something that is good, rather than wanting to create ruption or create a new layer that is going to be completely ineffective and is not leading us anywhere. Because what would happen is double funding will be happening.
That's right.
The same place, then Kosi. When there are many things,
it doesn't make any sense. I get that.
Use your platform. Yes, if you could use your platform to investigate this thing, to get this group to come and talk on it, maybe we can get ourselves lined up, because we're doing
that would be great.
We're doing excellent work. Yoruba Nation, we are brilliant, just like the Igbos as well, just like the Middle Belters are doing as well. The Jaws, the Chiefs, all of them, they're doing great job, and by the grace of God, we will reach our promised land, which is already in our hands.
It's so close.
It's so close. And
I told people, I said, it's closer than we can think, especially with the realities we have today. The people in charge of Nigeria that pushed all of us to this precipice, they seems to have been like drunk drivers who can see that they are driving recklessly, and the end result is going to be a crash. But they don't give a damn, despite the rest of us shouting, screaming, and some people jumping off on that speed. They don't care. Since they don't care, then breaking up of Nigeria is closer than many people can imagine.
Absolutely. And how can they want to eat where they have not harvested, they have not sown?
So, yeah.
You can't harvest what you have not sown. You've done it for decades. Fine. We can blame our, fathers and grandfathers or whatever. We can blame them till kingdom come. It makes no difference. Actually, now our eyes are open. The world now is a global village.
That's right.
Thank God for technology. We now know what we didn't know before.
That's right.
That they prevented us from learning it in schools. They cut off history and all of that. Now, thank God for internet. We can do our own research. We can find out about these things. They don't have to tell us. We don't need them. They need to get educated. But education for them is haram. So that's for them. That's their problem, not ours. We want to be educated. We enjoy being educated. We like the Western things.
That's right.
We like the things of life. We want to live. We don't want to die. If they want to die, let them take themselves away.
Is that too much to ask for, ma? By the way, is that too much to ask for?
Not at all. That is the reason why we're born, isn't it? To live. And then once we've enjoyed our lives, to then die. Not at the hands of man.
No.
But when God says he's ready to take us, then we can go. Not in the hands of our fellow brothers and sisters, so-called.
That are happy to slit our throat just because they wanted to show that they love Allah more than us, or they love God more than us, or they worship God differently from us. Come on, I know.
What kind of God will create something and wreck it? What kind of God will say,
still looking for that.
In my image. I create you in my image, but you know what? I don't like this image no more. I'm going to kill myself.
I'm just going to destroy it.
That's what it means. So thank
including
you,
children. I mean, I believe that no matter how wicked anybody is, no matter how cold-hearted you are, when you see children, that should change your mind to some extent. But when you are so dead to feelings, when you see children, then no, we shouldn't be living in such country with such people. Honestly speaking, ma. But thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
And you too.
God bless Caleb and your wife and your family.
Amen.
And God always watch over you and keep you safe for us.
Amen. And you too, ma.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you very much, ma, for calling in again tonight. And you stay safe, stay warm.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Yeah, bye-bye.
Good night. So this is where we're going to draw the curtain now, okay? I need to go. We spent extra 15 minutes. And somehow we are not always lucky to have a lot of women calling in. So tonight we had a number of them, and it was really good to give them the time to talk. Everybody has sort of expressed that themselves. To those who are unable to call in tonight, don't take it too personally, okay? We are going to be here again at some other time. That may be your own time. And then, you know, that beautiful thing you want to add, you can actually tell us then, okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Before you go, remember, my friends on YouTube, just give me that thumb up under that video. Click the like, subscribe, and then set your notification, okay? The next time we see, it will be a new thing to talk about. You should all have a good night. From here. Odaro.
Ani esunraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.